Morning and welcome to the Rich Family Pavilion for what is a very exciting day for the future of the Hartford Hawks. Just a brief introduction as to the process today. We'll have a few remarks from President Harrison, who will introduce our new Director of Athletics. We'll take questions from our members of our media, and we'll wrap things up after that. Without any further ado, President Walter Harrison.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks for being here on a brilliant spring day. Spring always has the promise of new life, and today that's a perfect symbol for today when we get to introduce to you our new Director of Athletics at the University of Hartford. I can say that athletics, searches for athletics directors are always exciting and enormously stressful. We've been at this now for 2 months and intensely for the last week or so, and I want to take a minute to thank the people who served on the search committee and the selection committee that had this very happy and exciting result. Some of them are here today and some aren't, but the committee was chaired by Tom Dorr, our Vice President of Legal Counsel, and Sue Fitzgerald, who are both here. Sue was Senior Advisor to the President. Consisted of 3 regents: Kathy Behrens, who most of you know is an alumna of ours and Executive Vice President of the MBA; Joe Coughlin, who's a New York investor; and Susan Harris, who chairs the Regents Athletics Committee. 3 faculty members: Jim Fuller, who is on the Athletics Council and also chair of the Faculty Senate; Bilal Sakou, who is Professor of Political Science in Hilliard College; and Catherine Serto, who's here today, who is not only the chair of our Rehabilitation Sciences Department, but also the Faculty Athletics Representative; and Jen Rosati, who most of you know, our head coach of women's basketball, served on the committee; Christine Pina, who's Vice President for Institutional Advancement; and Haley Rice, who is a track and cross-country student athlete. So we had a active, engaged, talented committee that agreed at the beginning on almost nothing. And we ended 2 months later agreeing on a great candidate who it's my pleasure to introduce to you in just a minute. Before I do, this day would not be complete with also paying tribute to Pat Miser, whose 21 years of outstanding leadership of this athletic department has brought us to this day. When you look around the Department of Athletics here and see and feel the feeling, the sense that we are above and beyond committed to the welfare of our student athletes, who have hired the talented coaches and administrators who over 21 years that has made this department what it is. Before we think about the future, it's time to pay respect to the past. I want to just ask for a round of applause for Pat Miser. And now I want to introduce you to a man who will lead us proudly into the future, building on the past that we have created. We looked for a person who would bring energy, spirit, and experience to this job, who could work with diverse constituencies and bring people together to form a winning team. And we've found one. We found a person whose youthful demeanor belies a vast experience at a variety of institutions, and who brings with him a commitment to winning that is proven by his track record, and which is only the beginning of what we think will be a really outstanding career. He has a football athlete himself at Bowling Green and Virginia Commonwealth. He has gone on to experience at 3 Division I institutions, one for 2 different stints, Kent State University. I mentioned this with a prayer to God to forgive me, Michigan State University, and the University of Maryland. And he has, for the past 4 years, been the director of athletics at Bowie State University in Bowie, Maryland. He has worked in athletic student affairs and academic affairs, and he has had the responsibility for leading Division I sports with multi-million-dollar budgets before going on to Bowie State, where, of course, he ran the entire athletic department. So we found a person here who still seems to me to be young, but who brings a wealth of experience, a positive attitude, a commitment to doing things right, and building on the great foundation we have to make us a winning team of individuals. What I know he's going to get is a wonderful group of people who I see in this room, a group of people who feel to me like family, and it's that sense of family that we want to build upon to be winners. So it is my pleasure. Oh, I should say one other thing. It's only coincidence that he was born and raised in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, which is just about 10 miles from where I was born and raised in Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. So I'm delighted to introduce to you Anton Goff, our next Director of Athletics. Anton. So we had to make sure we outfitted him correctly. He's got a good tie on, I think. But to go with that, we wanted you to have a hat and just coincidentally, a great basketball jersey with Goff and the letter 14 or the numbers 14 for this year. Anton, welcome to the University of Hartford.
Morning, everybody. First of all, I want to thank a few people. This process has been just great. I've told everybody that I've talked to that I never once felt like I was really interviewing for a job. It was a bunch of great conversations with a bunch of great people. And so first and foremost, I want to thank our president, Walt Harrison, for giving me this job. I'm so excited, but at the same time, I'm humbled because I understand the responsibility that has been given to me, and I take it seriously. I want to thank the search committee, everybody who took time out. I'm not sure how many people they had to interview, but I know I spent a lot of time with a lot of people, and so I know there were other people they had to interview also, and so I want to thank them. I want to thank all of you right now. You guys could be anywhere else right now because half of you don't even know who I am. So this isn't about you guys coming to support me. It's more about supporting Hawk Nation. And to see all your faces out here, I really appreciate that because that shows to me the type of support that this athletic department and this university is going to get each and every day. I also want to thank some people that I'm leaving. As excited as I am, I'm also saddened by the type of people that I'm leaving at Bowie State University. My president, Mickey L. Burnham, the cabinet members that I've worked with the last 4 years, the coaches, the administrators. I'm not standing before you today without the success and the hard work of those guys back there at Bowie State, Michigan State, Kent State, Maryland, all those places that I've been at have propelled me to come here, but I haven't done it by myself, and I definitely want to thank those individuals. Next, I want to thank a legend. I know I'm taking the place of someone that has great shoes and has built an incredible program. You know, a lot of times when you take an athletic director's position, you're taking it because somebody's either gotten fired, there's been violations, or the program's in shambles. Well, that's not this case this time. And as we already mentioned, Pat, as my first director, as an athletic director here at University of Hartford, I want you to once again, please give her a round of applause. And Pat, could you come up here? Stay. No, that hat's mine. The hat's mine. I think you can get another one. But I just wanted to tell you that once a hawk, always a hawk. And you may be gone, but you won't be forgotten. And the fact that I got your cell phone, I'm going to bother you. And I'm going to be asking you questions. And I may be in the office late at night and not know how to work the copier. So I'm going to call you. All right?
I don't know how to work the copier. I got the person.
I hear you. But I just wanted to personally thank you for the work that you've done here. And what I'm going to do is try to build on what you've built. And so thank you very much. And we want to make sure you come back a lot, come to games, and do whatever you need to do. And anything you need from me, I'm here for you. Thank you. As I mentioned a little earlier, you don't get to places without a great support system, great mentors. And I've got a ton of them across the country, but there's a couple that I definitely have to mention. And anybody who's watching, and if I don't mention your name, I'm sorry. You're probably going to text me or something, but we'll talk later. But, you know, I've had a great number of experience of leadership experiences with people. And so someone like a Debbie Yao, who's the AD at NC State, I've been had the opportunity to work with Coach Gary Williams, Hall of Famer, former head coach at University of Maryland, Joe Hall, who's the AD at College of Charleston, Randy Eaton, who's the AD at Western Carolina, Craig Littlepage, the AD at University of Virginia, Lane Kennedy and Kathy O'Donnell, who are former administrators at Kent State University. Those guys have shaped my life and given me the foundation I needed to be here today, so I definitely wanted to acknowledge them. Last people I want to acknowledge is my team. You can't win without a great team, and I think I have one of the best. First and foremost, I have 4 ladies in my life, and it's tough sometimes. I'm an honest guy. You'll find that out. I tell it like it is. First and foremost, at the very end, my mother, Alfreda Goff, who is kind of like Pat, a legend. They go back in the athletics administration back to the 70s, and so I grew up in this field. I wasn't born to be an athletic director, but I was raised to be one. When I was 8, 10 years old, I was running around athletic offices. By the time I was 10 and 11, I knew what a compliance office did, what a ticket office did, what marketing did. So, you know, I sat around and would go over to her office, and she would just send me someplace, and I'd do my homework in somebody else's office, and in the summer times, intern, and find out what athletics was really like. And so I'm kind of following in her footsteps, kind of like when a coach's son grows up in the gym and becomes a coach. This is a family business for me. So, you know, it's been great to have a mother in a business and also a mentor, because being a former athletic director and currently the senior associate commissioner of the Horizon League, I can call on her about anything that I've seen, anything I've experienced, and she can tell it to me straight, and I know I can trust her advice. Next on my team, my little princesses. It was rough this morning, I can tell you that. We flew up here 8 o'clock in the morning, so that meant we had to wake up at 5 in the morning, and nobody wanted to wake up, so I had to do a little prodding to get these guys going. But my youngest daughter, with the beautiful red hair, Gianna, who's 5 and finishing up kindergarten, is here, and my oldest daughter, Alexa, who is 9, who's in 3rd grade, going to 4th grade. One of the reasons why I do this is because they support me, and they support me great, and I couldn't have a greater family of support. And then last, but certainly not least, the boss of me. Walt, you're my boss at work, at home. I'm outnumbered, 3-to-1 at home. So my wife, Wendy, who's a former student athlete, who is a former assistant athletic director, so she understands the business, and the support she gives me allows me to try to be the best athletic director I can possibly, and the sacrifices she makes to take care of our girls and to take care of our house and put up with me. I'm not the easiest guy to put up with, especially when we lose games, coaches. So, you know, she's been there through this journey, through various different moves, and when I married her, it was like hitting the game-winning shot, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and every day since then, for the past 10 years, I've felt like that. So I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. Quick couple comments that I want to make. You know, coming here brand new to the situation, and one of the things I've told everybody is that I'm a competitive guy. I hate losing. I hate losing in games. I hate losing to my daughters in video games, Monopoly, whatever. Our whole house is competitive. You know, between me and my wife, we always try to see who can get in the bed first because the last one has to turn the lights out. So, you know, everything we do is competitive, and I'm going to bring that competitive spirit here. When I look at this place, I see limitless potential. One of the things that drew me here was the academic reputation and the academic achievement of not just student athletes, but students in general. And I felt like coming here, one of the things I looked at is, you know, if I had a choice between a student athlete being a four-year graduate, a University of Hartford, or a four-year graduate, or a four-year All-American, I would pick the graduate every time, because a four-year graduate is for life. These young people come here for 4 years to set up the next 40 years of their life. But I felt like coming here, you didn't have to pick. I felt like you could do both. You could be an All-American and you could graduate from the University of Hartford. And so that was where my passion was, pursuing this position. And now that I'm here, it's Hawk Nation domination time. I'm telling you that now. I've seen a lot of social media messages, you know, congratulating me and telling the America East to watch out. Anton's coming to the league, and that's true. That's true. I mean, I'm coming. I don't just want to win. I want to dominate. I want to dominate in every single aspect of athletics. I want to dominate in the classroom. I want to dominate on the fields and in the courts, and I want to dominate in the community. You can bet that there's going to be 6 things that this athletic department is going to focus on. First one is academics. We're already doing that. We're winning the Academic Commissioner's Cup and those type of things. We're graduating student athletes at a high level. We've got a lot of student athletes that are 3.0s and higher, so we're going to continue that. Athletically, we're going to raise the profile of this university. We're going to be known across the nation as Hawk Nation domination. Those are the things, when they think about Hartford, that's what they're going to think about. When they think about VCU, they think about havoc. But they're going to think about Hawk Nation domination when they think about Hartford. We're going to do whatever we got to do to be successful. My coaches are going to get the resources that they need to be successful. I'm going to work with the administration to make sure that we're successful, and we're going to work with the community to make sure we're successful. It's not just going to be me. It's not just going to be the athletic department. It's not just going to be the university. It's going to be our key stakeholders as well, our boosters, our alumni, our corporate partners, and anybody who we think that needs to join us in this quest. The third thing we're going to look at is accountability. The athletic department is going to be accountable to the university. We are not going to operate in a silo. We may be over here in the corner of the university physically, but we're not going to operate like that. We're going to partner with the university because at the end of the day, we want to make this university a better place. Our coaches are going to be accountable to our student athletes. When we tell our student athletes on the recruiting trail that they're going to have a great student athlete experience here at Hartford, they're going to get that. When we say we're going to do something, you can best believe it's going to be done. The next thing we're going to focus on is compliance. As competitive as I am, as much as I want to win the right way. I want to know that when we put a banner up, and we're going to put a bunch of banners up in this gym for all of our sports, when we put it up, it's going to stay up forever and ever. I want to make sure in the community that we're focused on making a difference. Our student athletes, our coaches, our administrators are role models. We're going to embrace that. We're going to go out and we're going to invite people to come on campus to experience Hartford, and we're going to go out there and let them know what the experience is about. Last and foremost, character. We're going to recruit student athletes with a high level of character. We're going to employ coaches and administrators with a high level of character so that you know when we say what we mean, we really mean it. And so those 6 areas, and because we're at an academic institution, I call it A cubed plus C cubed equals success. Academics, athletics, accountability, plus compliance, community service, and character equals success. And so those are the 6 principles that we're going to work on, and that's what we're going to do. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, but one last thing I want to do as the athletic director. On 3, I want everybody to say loud and proud, Hawk Nation domination. 1, 2, 3. Hawk Nation domination. That's what I'm talking about. Once again, thank you, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you and getting to know you guys and figuring out how we can reach that goal. And I'm going to turn it back over to Dan and take some questions, I believe.
Any questions we have from the media at this time? If you could grab the microphone from Sarah Boisenalt, so the question can be heard on our live stream. Mike Anthony, Hartford Current.
Anton, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And I'm just wondering how complicated the next few weeks will be and how you'll go about balancing, finishing up and tying up some loose ends at one institution and transitioning to another. And also, what will be your first few priorities once you're on the job in July?
Well, I think it's going to be hectic. But I think, like I said, I got a great team to help me out, and so we'll do what we need to do. We got 2 houses down there, so we got to make sure. Do we want to rent them? Do we want to sell them? You know, that type of stuff, and I leave that type of stuff up to her. But I mean, it's been hectic. I was up here Wednesday. Me and Wendy were here Wednesday. Got the job offer. Talked with Walt, a couple people about setting this up, and then we had to fly home, get the girls, make sure everybody had a little red on, fly back up here, and so that's been hectic. So I think it's going to be hectic, but. You know, we've made a move before. We just haven't had 2 girls with us, and so I know they'll help us with the move, and we'll make it happen. You know, some of my first priorities when I get here is I want to make sure that I sit down with each and every person that's on our staff directory in the athletic department, whether you're a head coach, senior associate administrator, or intern. I want to get to know everybody. Talk about, you know, what my vision is for the athletic department, how we get there. I want to get feedback from everybody. And I'm a guy that I'm confident in my intelligence, but I'm also intelligent to know that there's better ideas out there that I may not have thought up. And so I want to get a lot of people's input, meet with administration, get out in the community a little bit, talk to people. So it'll be a lot of meeting, you know, when I get together. And sooner or later, I'll put together a fancy little strategic plan. I'll look at our strengths and see, you know, what do we do well and we want to keep doing that. What are some of our weaknesses that we can try to, you know, make those a little bit better and look at our opportunities. What are we not doing that we could be doing to make our athletic department better or our university better? And then what are some of the threats out there that, you know, could slow down this progress? And once I get all that together, I'll write something up and I'll sit down with Walt and the rest of the vice presidents and cabinet and get some feedback from them, get some feedback from our key stakeholders, alumni, regents, boosters, those type of things. But at the end of the day, the message is going to be Hawk Nation domination. But I got to write some stuff up too to be fancy. But that's what I'm going to do.
Any other questions from our media? Okay, we will be doing one-on-one interviews right over here to the right. Thank you once again. Welcome to Anton, Wendy, Gianna, and Alexa. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.